everybody. Welcome to Comment Section, episode 10. Can you imagine
Double
that?
digits!
We're at 10.
Yes!
If this episode comes out and we both don't die before this can come out, it will be a decilogy.
Yes.
Or, I don't know.
We've made it. Could you imagine if we recorded these this year and just released them 1 year apart from the other?
Yeah, or released 3 of them in one decade, and then 3 of them in another decade, and then 3 of them in another decade.
Yes.
And then another one.
So many wonderful ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'd be very dated, but...
yeah. Especially, like, you know... I don't know how exactly we would have... how that would work.
But yet there are some subjects so timeless, like...
Yeah.
When do you think Ben Affleck will stop being Batman?
Yeah, like, in 30 years from now, we'll
still wondering,
yeah.
Did it happen? I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe Ben will be that 70-year-old Batman that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, and we will possibly no longer be wondering about things that we might be wondering about today when we have news segments.
Yes.
Are we going to go straight into the news segments?
Well,
okay.
We always like to do a little opening.
Yeah.
Have you seen any recent movies recently? Because I'm pretty sure you have.
There's one I saw a couple days ago, and there is evidence of it online, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, well,
and that movie
the most recent movie I saw was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That was not what I was thinking of.
Okay. What were you thinking?
Is there any movies you've seen recently in theaters?
Oh. It, I saw, was the last movie.
Yes. Now, let's say hypothetically, someone might have talked me into seeing it tonight. Tonight.
Okay.
And I fear so much. Should I see a shrink?
Actually, want me to do one of my news segments and then talk about this more? Because I have a news about it. Sure. We were planning on you starting, but this is a great segue. First news segment, just to segue into this discussion.
I hope it's not the Comedy Store I told you.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Maybe we'll... Okay. It hits $500 million domestic gross, I believe it is. I didn't write that down, but I think that's what it is. And it passes The Exorcist as the highest-grossing R-rated horror movie of all time. It broke a lot of records.
Remind me when we're done.
Yeah.
That there's a question to ask.
Okay. This. And the sequel has been announced for September 6, 2019, which is basically exactly 2 years.
Is it true that... I don't know if you've heard... Is it true that there's 2 books, right?
There's one book, but they're divided.
Is it true that they might do a new story in the middle to make it a trilogy?
As far as I heard, it's going to be a duology. There's just going to be 2 movies. That's what I've heard.
That's what I thought. I heard they were going to do a new story, and then that could make it a trilogy.
What I heard was that there was still going to be the kids in the new one in flashbacks. So it's going to be adult story and kids... some flashbacks to the kids again, which is good because the kids are great in it. That's my news, and it did have me thinking about
how much is it? 500?
500 million.
Do you think it'll... So that came out how many weeks ago?
It was around. It was like September 8th or something.
So this is its 4th week.
Yeah.
So do we have any big thing? We don't really have anything coming up till Thor, right?
Yeah, like that's another thing is that it's. I think it was also like the highest.
What do you think the percentage is that it might get $1 billion?
I mean,
it's rare.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's one thing that might help it. People might still be going to see it because it's October soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That could seriously make it hit a bit. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like a stretch.
They had another horror movie came out that I know bombed. So it's the friend request. So it's not like...
Yeah.
So it's just like, people are just like, if you're going to see a horror movie, you can see that one.
Yeah, and I would actually recommend that because I would definitely rather go see this again than basically any other horror movie. But yeah, we're... before I so rudely interrupted with the entire point of our show, it's just to say news. You were saying if you were convinced to see it.
Hypothetically, because hypothetically, let's say out of my better judgment, because I fear horror movies.
Yeah,
I don't like to be scared. Mm-hmm. Someone talked me into it. Should I see a shrink afterwards?
I mean, that's not impossible. It is. Well, there are actually a lot of people, and I don't exactly know what they're on when they say this, but there are a lot of people who say like it's not even scary, and I will say, like, it's a little like it feels a little different than a lot of horror movies.
It's not just jump stuff.
There's like a couple jump scares. It has some horror movie cliches, but it really, I almost would venture to say it almost isn't horror movie in bold capital letters and then other subgenres. Like I don't think it's horror in bold capital letters. I would almost say it's like a dark comedy coming of age drama horror movie. So like it's a lot of other things just as much as it's a horror movie.
In your recent horror movies, let's say from the 2010s.
Okay.
Where does this rank?
This is maybe the best one.
Really?
I had a question that I was thinking, because you've been disappointed or at least kind of okay about a lot of recent movies you've seen. I was wondering, like, when's the last time you went to a movie or just saw a movie and you thought, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life? Like, when's the last time you just had the most positive reaction
Civil
you
War.
could ever have? Really? And you thought, like, how high is that? Like, top 20? Or top, like, how high would you rank it of movies of all time?
Of all time, it's difficult because it has Batman.
Is that a bit high? Is it top 20 a bit high?
No, I'd say it's in top 20.
All right,
or at least top 25.
That's pretty good, because I was curious about that, because it's a great moment. This movie was that to me. It's in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
I'd say it's my favorite. Well, maybe my. Okay, I get in trouble if I say this. I go back and forth between this and another movie from another superhero movie that people don't like that much for top 2010s. It's the one we talk. I go back between
Batman vs Superman.
No,
okay, because you said that you like that more than most people. But
I do like it.
I didn't know how much you liked it.
Civil War is better, just because it's like Batman vs Superman I liked, but Civil War is everything you could want.
But you're saying there's another movie in the 2010s that
another superhero movie that like I love.
Okay, how recently?
Like 2012.
Okay, 2012. The Dark Knight Rises. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, shame on you!
I'm just kidding. Oh, gosh. The Avengers? Or wait, that came out in 2012, right?
Yeah. I think Civil War is better than the Avengers.
Okay.
Civil War, I think, is the best MCU movie ever made.
Oh.
And I don't know if they'll ever be able to top it, but yet...
Is it a DC movie?
No.
Okay, I didn't think there was one in 2012 that you would say. Wait, you said it was a superhero movie?
Yeah.
There's other superhero movies besides Marvel and DC?
Not Marvel Studios.
Oh, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay. That's in your like top 25, you're saying?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I mean,
good.
for 2010s, it's like between those
I see.
two.
Yeah, I see.
As
so
number
your favorite
one.
two superhero movies in the 2010s?
Yeah. And probably Batman vs Superman would be right under.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I was curious about that. Well, because while like your like go-to genre in movies would probably be the comic book or superhero movie type of thing, if I'm correct, just seeming by your top favorite movies.
You want me to say my top 4?
Just movies of
2010?
Oh, okay, sure.
So I probably have to say number 1 is... I still love that Amazing Spider-Man, so that's probably still number 1.
Yeah.
Civil War, then X-Men Days of Future Past, and Captain America Winter Soldier.
So 2 caps in...
Yes!
Okay, I need to see those. Because... But yeah, a lot, like, my kind of go-to genre for movies is often horror movies, despite a lot of them not actually being that good. I just like to watch horror movies, even if they're not that good. But when there is a good one, it is so refreshing, and it usually shoots straight up to one of my favorite movies of all time. And if we're talking 2010s for me, another one is The Babadook, as far as like incredible horror movies goes. But that, like, and I talked about before how like with comic book movies, I didn't like the like dark, extremely serious phase per se, but I think that's one thing.
That's gone now. I think we finally got to the point where it's variety.
It's gone, for sure.
I mean, we still want for like Batman and
Right.
Arrow, but that's... Keep it to the ones where it makes sense.
But sometimes horror movies are so bleak that you're just depressed and scared watching them. It's just like, I'm like, I want to watch a movie, and then I watch it, and I'm like, I am depressed and scared now. And it is like so not that. Like it's first of all, like I gave one of the top like descriptions. I said comedy in it. It's like, and that's one thing that's like, I think some people, like, if you hate the constantly trying to be funny, like in this movie, tension is constantly broken with comedy, and I could see that getting annoying to some people, but I think it's extremely funny. So
you said your top horror movies. So,
yeah.
What is your number one anime movie of the 2010s? Would you like me to go first? Because for me, there's no contest of number one anime movie 2010s. From 2010 to now.
I'm trying to think, because like my favorite like animation studio is Pixar, so I jumped to that. But I feel like I'm not really that in love with any of the 2010 Pixar movies except for Inside Out.
Would you let me say what mine from 2010 is?
Sure.
No contest.
Okay.
This is the winner.
Okay.
Toy Story 3.
Oh, okay. What year did that come out?
2010.
Oh.
So it was all downhill from there.
I forgot. Okay. I scratched what I said. Toy Story 3 and Inside Out are very close to me. I like how we talked about. I like Inside Out a lot more than you. It's actually one of my favorite Pixar movies, but Toy Story 3 is like about equal to me. Wreck-It Ralph came out in the 2010s. That's good.
I've not seen Wreck-It Ralph.
That's a good to me. I
want to one day. Someday.
I don't. It's got Toy Story 3's gotta be the best.
Yeah. So, this brought up two questions. So, ranking out of 10. Out of 10, what do you give it?
Like Toy Story 3?
It.
Oh. It's
or do you not do rankings? Or are you just like, do you want to do thumbs up, thumbs down?
Well, it's a thumbs up, but it's tough because I objectively see that there are problems with it. Pun there.
But yeah, that's every movie.
But it's like, one thing I noticed upon seeing it a second time, because I've seen it twice.
You've seen it twice? Oh my God.
I think I want to see it a third time.
This is earth-shattering. What was the last time? What's your most watched movie in theaters?
I have a pretty lame answer for that, because it just happened to be that a lot of people wanted to see it, and just separately, but I think it was The Hunger Games. Just like one by one, people in my life wanted to go see a movie, and that was the big movie at the time, and I just happened to see it 4 times or something.
I think mine is Toy Story 2.
I wish I'd seen that movie that many times. That's great.
I don't know if you want to know. I don't know if you want to see it as many times as I did. It was like 7 or 8.
Oh, really?
It was like every week.
Did you just love it and you just wanted to see
because
it
I'm just like, I think that was like the first time I kind of like was just like, oh my God, there's like a new, like I don't really know if I had a movie that I loved that had a sequel. And
yeah.
Like when we were younger, we had like the TV shows, but we didn't have like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I don't even. I must have seen it in theaters once, but I don't.
I think I saw Toy Story 3 4 times in theaters.
Oh, really? Yeah. I can basically like name all the movies I've seen more than once in theaters.
I almost saw.
There's barely any.
I almost saw The Dark Knight 4 times in theaters.
Oh, really?
But I didn't get to, and I regret it so much.
So 3.
So 3, but I could have done it at 4th, but I just like. Let's switch it up and see Iron Man instead. And I'm just like, no! That's 8 more years you gotta wait before a Batman movie comes out you like!
Yeah.
So, okay.
Oh, yeah. I was saying that when I saw it a second time, the things that kind of I was iffy about the first time, like this is kind of a sign to if something... to me, this is kind of what a 10 out of 10 is to me. And that's that the problems... I don't think anything's like perfect, really. I don't know if it's possible. You can nitpick and find something. And I think there's more than nitpick about this movie. There's actually some pretty glaring issues, but I think the thing that I noticed that with things I really love, the problems become endearing to me. Like, I just don't care about the issues with it. Like, it's almost like... It's like, I would say one of the problems is, like, they didn't have to go for jump scares. That it was just kind of unnecessary. And they didn't do it in just the absolute cheesiest, awful way that a lot of horror movies do. In fact, I barely even noticed, and someone was like, there are too many jump scares in that movie. I wish that they wouldn't do that. And I was like, were there? Like, I didn't really think about it. And then, but now it's, like, endearing. It's like, I like what they did. And that goes for everything, not just this movie. Like, sometimes I just start to, the problems start to fade in the background. I don't know if you could relate to that, but if there's something that clearly has problems, if you really like it, they start to fade into the background.
Yeah.
Because almost any movie has its problems. I don't know if... Do you think there's something that is flawless, really? Like clear 10 out of 10?
Yes. I have so many movies I give 10s out of 10s. Like, if there's, like, a movie... Like, even, like, some of the complaints I hear people say, I'm just like, well, I think they were trying to go for this thing. Like,
right.
Like, even... Just an example. I love Batman Forever. A lot of people don't like the way Tommy Lee Jones portrayed Two-Face. They think he might play a little too jokery, but I'm just like, well, if you look at it, you know, Two-Face is supposed to have multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I love Dark Knight, but that was a mistake. Which is that, like, you know, Two-Face becomes evil, but he kind of already had something wrong with him.
Yeah.
That's a mistake that Dark Knight made. Still a great movie, but whatever. So, but if you look at it, there's some moments, like, the moments where people are just like, oh, it's a little too jokery. Is this like, well, you see moments where he's Harvey Dent, and then he's, like, Two-Face. So I'm just like, well, that's how he's doing it. So, I'm trying to think, other ones that, I don't know. I do have it if there's, like, a movie I don't like, because I'll try multiple times.
Yeah.
Multiple times to like a movie. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll buy the Spider-Man Homecoming Blu-ray, hoping that one day I got, because I don't like it, but it's not like it ruined the franchise like Dark Knight Rises did, or Logan, where you're just like, wow, 17 years, the X-Men didn't really accomplish anything, did they?
Yeah.
But yeah, but like, if I try to watch a movie, like, the problems I don't like will stand out more. Like,
yeah,
when I rewatch Spider-Man Homecoming, it's like, okay, joke, can you stop it?
Yeah. I can go either way, where you notice the flaws, but I think that's kind of what I'm saying, is that upon repeat viewings, I think one thing will happen: the flaws will stand out, and you'll learn to like it less. Or the flaws will fade into the background. They'll become almost endearing, and you'll learn to like it more.
Like, sometimes if I watch a movie I like and I think there's a flaw, I'll, like, think about it more. I'm saying, oh, I think that's what they meant.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes, like one of the things is, I don't know if, spoiler for Batman vs. Superman, but you probably, the Martha scene.
Oh, yeah. I do know that scene.
It's not a well done scene. I know what they were trying to get about, you know, Batman's gonna beat Superman. And Superman's like, hey, you know, he's trying to say, I'm not the enemy Lex is. You know, he's going to kill my mom. And when Lois comes and says, like, hey, when Lois says, like, he has a mom, Batman's kind of like, well, this guy is human, and kind of remembers, like, the whole reason I'm doing this is to make sure that no one else loses their parent. So when he's like, Martha won't die tonight, that's him kind of, like, becoming the guy he once was. But it's just like, even as a viewer, as we were talking about, I think it was last episode, as a viewer, I don't believe in your dying moments you're going to say Martha. I think you're going to say Mom.
Yeah.
He's like, he's going to kill my mom. And he's just like, what? And you can imagine him be like, what were you talking about? Like, something like that. I think, once again, that was a David Goyer thing. I don't think that was a Chris Terrio thing.
Yeah.
But, so, we've gone down this long rabbit hole.
That's what it's all about.
But I had two questions to ask.
Yeah.
So Pennywise.
Yeah.
This could be such a stupid question,
Okay.
but so the day it came out,
Yeah.
just out of coincidence, Batman and Harley Quinn came out.
Ah.
So I decided, Return of the '90s cartoon. I'm gonna watch my Batman.
Yeah.
So I rewatched the Burton Schumacher Batmans. I had this question:
Yeah.
Pennywise,
Right.
is he more Jack Nicholson or is he more Heath Ledger?
He's very clown, so I'm leaning away from Heath Ledger quite a bit. Although his way of I think it's so different than I have heard people say that Pennywise is almost Jokery in this, but because he's like villainous and has little speeches, so he seemed, but I don't feel strongly either way on that. He's gosh, he is it is a very dark version. Like a lot of the comparison of the miniseries of it is that Tim Curry played a much more like he's a jolly clown and then he's evil and then he like grows teeth or something. This version is more like I like it a lot better because I feel like it's almost like it makes because the creature which takes the form of Pennywise is really just a creature that takes the form of what the children fear the most to scare them because like something like they taste better when they're scared or something, but it's sort of like it's like a creature, it's like this cosmic creature from another dimension, and I feel like this take on Pennywise feels more like that because when he is Pennywise and he's like speaking, it's almost like he comes unhinged a little bit. It's like he can barely act human. Like he's like not great at acting human. He doesn't act like a fun clown like you would imagine a clown to be. It's like a monster who's trying as hard as he can to be human, like a human clown, but like he plays the like there are moments where, especially in like one of the early scenes, where it just like it looks like just the life goes out of his eyes and it's like the least human thing, and that's one of the scariest things about the movie to me is just how good he is at portraying just like he's this inhuman creature that is trying to be something it's not, and that's kind of one thing that does make it not that jokery because it's like trying to not be a person. It's a monster. But at the same time, there are moments where he's more in character as a clown and trying to be funny in a way that, like, you know, the Joker is also spooky and tries to be funny, but he's evil. So there are moments like that where he's speaking to the kids and he'll do something goofy in kind of an eerie, goofy way. So that, yeah, people were wondering how much Pennywise would be in this movie. And he's got quite a bit of parts and quite a bit of dialogue, actually, which I don't think was something I expected. But he really is more like a villain than like just a thing that scares you. Like, because I mean, in a horror movie, it could just be there's a clown and every now and then he pops out at you. In this, he's a villain. Like, he isn't he speaks and has dialogue and makes his motives clear. So that's interesting. But
so, last question for it.
Yeah.
This would get ruined if... Well, I gotta ask one question, because otherwise the other one means nothing.
Okay.
Have you seen the TV miniseries?
It's really long, so I haven't seen all of it.
Okay. Having seen it, will you go back now and watch the Tim Curry version? To be like, there's another version of it? Or would you be like, I don't care, it was perfect? Or are you just like, that part 2 spoils the next movie?
I do know a lot about the next one anyway, so it wouldn't really matter. I I could go back and have that spoiled, so but I wouldn't care. I might. It honestly looks so boring to me. I don't have much drive to, and I think that the take on the story is so like different in both of them that it's not really gonna feel like I'm watching the same thing. And I think a lot of people have come out of the woodwork and said, like, that miniseries wasn't actually as good as people remember. Like, this is actually a time where people are like, they did better this time. Like, a lot of times people have nostalgia and they like to say the original was better. I don't think most people would say that in this case. I think the consensus is this is better. So that doesn't really bring me.
So it doesn't make you like, I want to go see this other version.
I've seen plenty of clips from it, but like it really is like way too long. That's what I've heard about it, is that it just kind of drags on, and that I've heard that the last half is actually really bad, and that it's the first half that's good. But
I just remember, when I was young, when I had, the Burton movies and the animated series, discovering the Adam West show, like, oh my god, there's another version, but at the same time, it's not like the Adam West show is going to be the same plot, kind of like the Burton or animated series. So that's a little different.
Yeah, I've considered I could read the book. That would probably...
Isn't it long?
It's very long. I do have it, and I've started reading it, but I just keep looking like, it's so long. But it's good.
What were those books in elementary that people would have? There was like, the whole book was black, but there was like a white picture, and there was like blue and red.
Blue and red lettering?
No, blue and red like in the picture. It had like these creepy colors. You know what I'm talking about?
They were really long books or something?
It was from elementary school, so they'd be smaller books.
Oh.
They weren't picture books. They were, as we would call them today, chapter books.
Like a junior fiction.
Yeah.
As we would call it at my...
Was it Michigan Chillers or something?
Oh, that's a thing. Michigan Chillers are a
Remember
series.
that?
Yeah. I don't remember them particularly.
I just remember those covers.
Yeah,
they were weird.
Yeah, they had weird covers. That's a weird series. There's a lot of those book series that are just like, there's like 100 of them, and every title is similar in some way.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like the what's that series called? Is it the Magic Treehouse or something that has like the Night at Dawn, and it's always something at a certain time.
Here's another question to ask you.
Yeah.
When we were younger, there was a book series you used to read.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Have you seen the Netflix version?
A Series of Unfortunate Events? Yeah, and I think it's good.
I have not watched it.
I think they did a very good job. And what
do you think this compares to the other movie, the Jim Carrey movie?
The show is better, for sure.
Did you ever hear about one of the ideas they have when they were developed? I guess from when it went from movie to TV show, what one of the ideas was, which I was just like, oh, that would be so cool.
I don't know what you're referring to. I guess
that instead of live action, it would have been stop motion animation.
That would work really well for the series. Actually.
I know, don't you think that'd be so cool?
I think it'd be too much work, but that actually, like, that series feels exactly like something that would work good in stop motion.
Yes.
Like, it'd just have this slight eeriness of not being quite, like, it would be really good that way. But one thing they did do in the show that I think actually kind of captures that same sort of thing, they used a ton of CGI and, like, green screen stuff, but in a way that makes it feel just slightly off. Like, they did it on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it looks like it's on a set or something. Well, it is on a set, but sometimes it's green screened in a set. Like, it'll be, like, sort of badly green screened. They're on a boat in the ocean, and I think it's on purpose. Like, I don't know if they had, like, it's probably also, like, budget and stuff, but it feels like it's on purpose. That they made it feel slightly off.
Is Lemony Snicket involved in the show, like, the movie?
Yeah.
Like, does he narrate
Patrick
it?
Warburton is Lemony Snicket, and he's a character. He actually, you see him.
Yeah.
You see him, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, what was it? It was, doesn't the movie kind of just, like, end, like, kind of happily?
The movie, the worst thing about the movie was the fact that they weirdly mushed it all like this hour and a half or I don't know 2 hour, I don't know how long it was, movie. The first 3 books, and they ripped off the end of the first book and put it at the end of the movie. So they went through almost all the first book, the second book, the third book, and then slapped on the end of the first
doesn't
book.
Count Olaf kind of like you almost think he dies in it. Like there's like the scene about his punishment, and he's like locked and the train's coming.
Oh yeah.
That's the last time you see him.
I think that whole train thing was completely added to they completely added that to the movie, I think. They like just to kind of tie together all of the stuff.
Do you remember one of your complaints about the movie?
I don't remember. I know I've always had that complaint, but I don't remember.
It was Klaus doesn't wear the glasses.
That annoyed me so much.
I think he does it like when he reads, but that's it.
Just put on the glasses.
Exactly.
Like why? I just want to find the person who made that decision. Why didn't you just have him put on some fake glasses?
You said something because you knew about more of the books than I do. Because in book 4,
the 4th book, it is essential that he has glasses.
Yeah.
So if they did, they kind of ended it where they probably thought they wouldn't have a sequel. I don't know if they ever were planning on it, but if they ever wanted to continue that series and do book 4, it's a major plot point to have glasses. Like the whole thing is like he breaks his glasses and that like ruins it's like the whole plot. The show on the Netflix show is actually way more accurate to the books, and it goes up to book 4. So they did that, and they had glasses on them, so they did it right.
So there was 13 books. Didn't it like kind of half continue? Isn't there like a spin-off?
Yeah, there's a prequel series. It's Lemony Snicket as a kid. Like it actually stars Lemony Snicket instead of him just being the narrator. I haven't read it, but I kind of want to.
Didn't it have like the most like bullcrap ending, which is where like they're on the raft and they like never heard from him again?
You mean just like at the book 13 of the series?
Like there's like no resolution.
Then that's like the end of chapter 13, and the whole thing was a series. Every book had 13 chapters. Yeah. And then there's a chapter 14, and it's like an epilogue, but it goes past that, I think. So it actually does.
There's a Oh my god, I'm gonna go look for it tonight then.
No, I'm pretty sure it doesn't end like that. I think the ending's
swear that's how it ended.
I think it might be that chapter 13 ends like that, and then the epilogue goes further into it. There's more. It's very vague because it's been like 10 years or something.
This is a little surprising to me now.
But I'm pretty sure that it ends decently. Like, I don't remember there being a cliffhanger like that.
I thought it ended like that, but maybe I was wrong.
I mean, the entire arc of, and this is, of course, if you don't want spoilers, you should have stopped listening already and skip a little.
A book 10 years ago.
Yeah, but skip a little ahead. But the whole thing was that they're safe now. So I think them being on a raft, just ready to start a new life without this thing hovering over them, is kind of a decent ending. They're free of the spooky evil guy.
I swear, I thought it ended where
I don't totally remember.
On the raft and never heard from him again. Maybe that's how I interpreted it.
I'm pretty sure that chapter 14 goes into a more concluded ending. I don't totally remember it, but I feel like that's what it did.
All these years. I
don't totally remember, but but there in January, I believe, there is going to be another season of A Series of Unfortunate Events.
So we had first 4.
Yeah, first 4 books.
Does that mean 5, 6, 7, 8?
I think so. Yeah, actually, for sure, because I saw some. I guess this is a little bit of a news that I forgot to write down, but they released a photo of the set of the 8th book. So we saw what it looked like, and it takes place in a hospital. So there's actually a picture. I think it's on Neil Patrick Harris's Instagram of the set, a part of the set of the hospital. From the Hostel Hospital. I still remember all the names. Just I haven't even looked upon those books in so long, but
you know they had the best dedications.
I love those dedications. Oh, that's okay, one more spoiler. This is one thing that I think it said in chapter 14. It turned out that Beatrice was their mother. All the dedications were for their mother.
What?
Yep.
I do not remember this chapter 14 at all.
Yeah, I think it was in chapter 14.
Maybe it was because, remember, this is like going back a ways, guys. Remember in like middle school, we had to read a chapter book, and we always had to like do like a test on the computer, and you had to get a certain amount of points.
Wasn't it like middle school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, because I hated doing that, because I couldn't read my comics.
Yeah.
So I think like maybe when I was reading that, I was kind of fed up and just like, let's just get this point crap over with.
Yeah.
I heard they don't do that anymore. Good for them.
Yeah, that's a weird system, especially because my only memory is that I had a book that was like it had to be like there's some books that like they were worth like enough points to where you could potentially just read one book.
Yeah.
Because I remember what I did, and you might remember this because I remember talking about it, is that I read one book. And it was really long, and I was like, this is going to be set. And I didn't pass the test.
You couldn't retake it, could you?
They couldn't, but I think the teacher felt bad for me, so they let me because I spent the whole semester, and I was 1 point off from...
Oh, man.
It was Lord of the Rings.
AR reading.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yes, we also had AR math where we would scan the thing.
Yeah. That was a weird system.
Yeah. Hopefully it's gone.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Forever.
Good riddance.
Yes.
Not that I care. I'm past that.
Let them all fail for all I care.
Yeah, we've shown great empathy on this day.
So, we've talked a lot about it so far. And
yeah.
36 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been talking about lately, basically.
So, shall we move on to another?
Sure. Your news
all right.
segment?
So, yes, finally. Okay, so I guess we'll do the Marvel thing right now. So, Spider-Man: Homecoming is now available on streaming.
Oh, is it not out on Blu-ray?
Sorry, it's digital release.
Oh, it's
'cause
just,
you know how
just
they-
digital. Yeah.
You know how they do like 2 weeks before digital.
Yeah.
I think Batman vs Superman did 3 weeks. And I wasn't gonna wait 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I bought that movie twice.
Yeah. I actually as soon as Wonder Woman was released on digital, I was like, well, I got to see it now. I forgot about it, and then the Blu-ray came out, and then I got it on Blu-ray.
Oh, I have the Blu-ray too. Did you see the bonus scene? I haven't.
I've seen. No, I think I watched all the bonus features except for that. Okay. I forgot about it. I need to go watch it.
All right, so I guess on the digital release, they deleted scenes for Spider-Man: Homecoming. And you know who's the guy? Don Glover, right?
The actor,
yeah,
who is in Community.
Yeah,
yeah, Don Glover.
Don Glover. Okay, who's the old guy? He's like in some. Never mind. We got the right guy, Don Glover.
Yeah.
There's another Donald something. I don't know.
Do you mean like Danny Glover?
Yes.
Who people think sometimes is related, but they're not.
Donald and Danny are so close in names.
Yeah. It's Donald Glover.
Okay, so Donald Glover mentions by name on the phone. He talks about his nephew in the movie.
Yeah.
And on the phone he name drops his nephew, Miles Morales.
Ooh.
Now people it's a little bit of a mixed reaction, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Now, as someone who is not as much into the comics,
Yeah.
what do you know about Miles Morales, and do you have like any thoughts on the character?
Well, I know that people were like rooting that they wanted Donald Glover to be Miles Morales.
Well,
right?
no.
Wasn't that what they were?
You mean in 2012?
I thought that there was there was definitely a thing where people wanted Donald Glover to be Spider-Man.
People wanted Donald Glover to be Spider-Man and went to Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I think Andrew Garfield's perfect casting. But, so the idea was that because Marvel kind of got the idea, they say this was their idea. I think it's like more they were just like, boo-hoo, we don't have the movie rights. To create a character that Donald Glover could play, even though Miles is 13. Where in their Ultimate Universe, which is separate from the Marvel Universe, they would introduce Miles Morales as the new Spider-Man.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I see.
But Donald Glover voiced him in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and we won't blame him for that because no one in that show sounded good. So we won't blame him for not sounding the best.
Yeah.
A 30-year-old guy sounding like a 13-year-old does not work very well.
But yeah, that's basically all I know about
So,
Morales.
do you have like an opinion, or do you know about how his storyline?
Not really.
So, Ultimate Universe, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with what started with Stan Lee or whatever. Ultimate Universe, 11 years of a rebooted Peter Parker. Peter Parker gets killed off by the Green Goblin. Poof, dead. 11 years of time just wasted. So, there's this other kid, Miles Morales, who gets bitten by a spider. And his friend Genki Lee, who is basically Peter's friend in Spider-Man Homecoming, which I don't know why, if they're going to talk about Miles, I don't know why they give Peter Miles his friend, but that's an issue for another day. So he gets bitten, and Genki's like, "You're Spider-Man." Miles is just like, "Well, it's already Spider-Man. He seems like he's doing fine with this." So when he dies, Miles kind of takes over, and so you don't really have any opinion about Miles.
Just as like a character?
I just
Because-
like, what do you...
Just like if he's a good character or not, because...
Or you don't like have any opinion about his stories or what's going on?
Not really. Don't know enough
So,
to make a judgment.
I think Miles was introduced the worst way possible. I also don't think he should be called Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think it's just lazy marketing. This is how I think it should have happened. I think they should have introduced Miles as a supporting character in a Spider-Man comic with Peter Parker, and then he can still have his spider powers in the same suit, but he has a different name, and then you establish him in there for like a year or something, and then you spin him off into his own book.
I see.
That's how I think it should have happened.
Okay.
So, a lot of people are wondering, oh man, are they gonna replace Peter and kill him off and get Miles Morales as Spider-Man? Because they have an upcoming anime movie with Miles as Spider-Man. Would you want Miles as Spider-Man? Or are you just like...
I don't mind it. I think, again, I don't know much about the character, but, I mean, it'd still be a Spider-Man movie. Like, it's still the same notes of plot. I mean, it's just a guy who has spider powers.
Here's what I think. No. Do not do that. That would be stupid and idiotic for you to do. It would ruin your whole MCU. But if they do want to put Miles in a movie, here's how I think it should be done. Do not have it be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is also, if they ever want to do like a Batman Beyond movie or whatever, this goes the same thing. If they want to do Miles Morales, this is my pitch, basically, for
All right.
Miles Morales.
We'll send it out.
Yes. Share it with everyone. Send it to Kevin Feige. If you want to do a Miles Morales movie and you want him to start being the lead or whatever, because we'll just say that they just want to do a Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Do not connect it to Marvel Cinematic Universe. Have it be its own separate thing. And so have it be separate. So don't even have it be your Spider-Man franchise. Have it be a separate spin-off to where you still have your Peter Parker movies, but have it Miles kind of be like maybe the opposite year.
I see.
So you still have your real Spider-Man
Yeah.
and your spin-off character.
I see.
Also, I don't think Miles should be named Spider-Man, but that's an issue for another day.
Yeah.
At least the Ultimate cartoon gave him a new name. It's not a good name. It was Kid Arachnid, but...
Okay. I was just thinking like Spider Boy or something,
I think
which even that would probably...
I don't know. They have Superboy with Superman.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was coming from.
It could work.
It's like the one
He's clearly, if you stand next to Peter, because Peter is in his 30s when he meets Miles. When the real Spider-Man mentors Miles. When the real Peter, not the one who died, the real Peter. That started with Stan Lee. So when they stand together, one's clearly more taller than the other.
Yeah.
So I think if they wanted to, this is how I think they should do it. Separate, but have it maybe set in the future where Peter mentors Miles. Where he's maybe too old to be in the suit, Maybe he got like injured or something, and Peter mentors Miles. That is why I think people are more like willing for Batman Beyond than Miles.
Yeah.
Because Batman Beyond still has Bruce there, while Miles Morales tried to replace Peter.
Yeah.
That's why I think people were more upset.
I see.
So that's what I think they should do. And also, if they make it separate, they can still cross over to this little thing called Spider-Men,
Yeah.
where Tom Holland could come into, thanks to Doctor Strange, could pop into Miles' universe, team up with him, and then if they wanted to, later they could do it where Miles leaves his old universe and joins, where you have Tom Holland. He had to be older, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for a teenage Peter Parker to mentor
Yeah.
someone who's only like 3 years younger than him.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. That's just me. That's what I think they should do.
Yeah. I don't think any of this would even happen anyway, honestly. So, but it is a wish.
But so okay. Here's a question to ask you. Let's say hypothetically, they went with my idea where we're in the future. Peter's too old to be Spider-Man. And he trains Miles. They Batman Beyond it, which is what I think they should do.
Yeah.
Unless they want to have it where they're both Spider-Man at the same time. Also, Laura, what is her name? It's Laura and Logan, right? Laura?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
They don't really call her by her name. I don't think that much.
Yeah.
I think, people are wondering, should Laura have her own movie? I think that if they want to, I think this is also what they should have done instead of Logan. I think they should do a separate universe where you have a separate Wolverine to mentor her. So he's still there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, I'm more willing to give it a chance because I know I'll still have the character I care about there.
Right.
Versus like, you're replacing them? Don't give me this crap.
Well, I mean, if you do connect it and then
No spoilers.
yeah, I know. I just mean like if they do connect it, then you could kind of use that movie as kind of a segue. You're like, because there's my beloved character,
Yeah.
and here's the
That's what I think they should do. I think they should have it separate and kind of like you could have like a older actor than Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine to mentor her.
Yeah.
If they do an X-23 movie, which I think should be separate
Yeah.
from the X-Men movies. If they wanted to, they could once again like cross against dimensions and have like reboot Wolverine meet his daughter and this old man Wolverine. Where the heck was I going with this? I'm just blanking now. If they want to, they could cross over. Man. Oh, if they do want to do another X-23 movie, they're gonna have to recast.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really just be like, there's this 7-year-old stabbing people. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, one day I'll die.
Could they go a bit further in the future? She's, more settled into a Wolverine role.
I think probably they would jump forward to like when she's like at least 25 or something.
I was thinking.
I mean, I think if they wanted to do it separate, I think they should have it where maybe like contradict Logan so much, but I think that maybe if they wanted to do like a new like future X-Men, like we could call X Tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have it where Wolverine is like in charge of a school, kind of like Xavier was, and like he mentors those other kids.
Yeah.
And it'd be a reboot, clearly, but
yeah,
that's how I think they should introduce Miles if they want to. And then nothing says you can't like grab him from that universe and pop him over. But I mean, even if they don't want to have it where Peter, if they want, or just like, hey, we want Tom Holland to be Spider-Man, you could always have it where just one movie starts with in a world different from ours, just like this isn't our world. You see like Peter die, yada yada yada, then a Spider-Man movie where they team up, And maybe in a Miles movie, you have like a scene where he goes to the alternate universe to get like advice from Peter or something.
Yeah, it's convoluted, but I can see how it might. Yeah.
Again, if they ever do introduce Miles, I think it'll be more Batman and Robin than Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
I think they won't replace him. I think it'll be like Tony was to Peter. I think it'll kind of go full circle where Peter is to Miles.
Yeah.
If they do a Miles Morales movie and Peter has the kind of role that Tony had, I think that's like more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pitch.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to send that out.
Listen to that, Feige. So, any other news?
That's a good question. We were saying it's a bit of a slow.
Boy, did we go off topic so much.
Yeah, I have. Gosh, my only bit of news is so quick and boring that we can just glaze right over and go to yours. But basically, the thing that just mildly interested me was more some photos released related to season 2 of Stranger Things coming out in October, I think on Halloween. And
is it Halloween Tuesday this year?
I don't remember.
Well, because that's when Netflix usually drops stuff.
It probably is then, because I'm almost positive it's coming out on Halloween.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, there are more cast photos released, and I just found it mildly interesting that Sean Astin, known for being Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings, is in it. He's a new character in it. I don't know. He was in the photos. I can't think of a single other thing he's like. It's like he's back. He was in Lord of the Rings like over 10 years ago, and now apparently he's in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I was like, huh, that's him. What is Samwise doing there?
He's back.
So yeah, hopefully he's good in that. I don't have much to say about that. That was a little mildly interesting. Like we said, it was a bit of slow news. More, not even slow news week, slow news month.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll do a special thing. Like we kind of talked about off camera. Maybe Sunday we'll do like a special.
Yeah.
So that's your news. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I have a comedy story, sort of, but
okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to breeze through these ones real quick.
All right.
They are pretty short.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. This was one I really wanted to talk about. Matthew Vaughn, he directed X-Men First Class, and he directed Kingsman. So a lot of people think he's rumored to direct the next Superman movie, Man of Steel 2. So he talked about his pitch for Man of Steel 2, and he said that he wants to do a modern version of the Richard Donner Superman. And he talked about how Superman is like light and hope. I'm just like, yeah. And it did make me think of something. That is pretty different from what we had in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So, this guy, he's not for sure to be the director.
Yeah.
So, I think that's off to the right start, is light and hope and doing like a modern Richard Donner Superman. Modern, like...
Yeah.
Maybe like Sam Raimi Spider-Man-ing it, or first Iron Man-ing it. Like making it more modern.
Yeah. I think that's what it needs.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
So, I have this question to ask you.
Alright.
DC. Okay. And we had a little bit of breaking news today.
Really?
I'm sorry if I haven't... I saw on one site, which is pretty reliable.
Okay.
So... That's a very different pitch than Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So, Jeff Johns, who is one of my favorite comic book writers, he's now the head of DC movies. Like, the first one under his leadership will be Justice League.
Okay.
So, he said that he wanted Man of Steel to be lighter.
Yeah.
So, considering how Matthew Vaughn has like a completely different pitch than what Zack Snyder and David Goyer and Chris Nolan had in 2013.
Yeah.
Considering that Jeff Johns, who's the head, wanted a different type of Superman movie.
Yeah.
And considering we're going to have Flashpoint, you might agree or may not. I think 60% chance Justice League will be Henry Cavill's last time as Superman and they're going to reboot. What do you think about that?
I haven't personally heard too much positive reaction towards that iteration of Superman, so I would be almost kind of expecting them to be like, let's find a way to redo this.
Yeah, I think
like
that's like the...
Especially if they want to go in a different tone.
Yeah, I think... Because I've said, I think that once Flashpoint happens, it'll wipe away Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, and Justice League.
Ah.
So, and not to say Justice League's going to be bad, I just think it's a little bit like Snyder will have completed his story arc.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, we told the Snyder story, now let's do our Vision, which will start with Wonder Woman.
So the Wonder Woman that came out this year, you're saying
Wonder Woman, I think, will be the only one that carries over.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
After Flash.
That's what I want, because I would be almost heartbroken.
I think
if change that.
I think because I heard that Warner Brothers was surprised by the reaction of Wonder Woman.
Well,
because remember, I heard they were very, very confident in Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't, like, some people just like, oh, they knew it was going to be terrible, even though I liked it, but they were really, from people that I've read, they talked to sources at Warner Bros. Who were very, very sure they had something fans were going to love. And it backfired.
It turned out Wonder Woman was the first.
Yeah,
that people
Wonder
actually
Woman
liked.
Wonder Woman was the first one since Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So that's a 9-year gap.
Yeah. They better listen to that, I think.
Yes. I think if I had my Blu-ray cover for Batman vs. Superman and I didn't feel like just walking over there, I would. But if you look at the cover, which is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
I think post Justice League, well, we'll go Batman. What are chances Ben Affleck will come back? 0.01. I think there's a small chance they might force him to contractually.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm just like, I don't think so. I think they're gonna still want Affleck to direct movies for them. So, I think that. But I think 60% chance that Henry Cavill will be done.
Yeah, I think that.
It's like, it's nothing against him. I personally don't like the way his portrayal of Superman.
Yeah.
Like, personally, there are moments where it feels like, who knows what he could have done with a better script and a better director. But I'm not saying Zack Snyder's like a terrible director. He just focuses more on like the visual than like the acting performances.
Yeah.
I think that maybe he could have done better. But there are moments where it feels like a guy pretending to be Superman.
Yeah.
Versus Tyler Hoechlin or Christopher Reeve or Tom Welling. It feels like they become the character. You know? Like,
yeah.
If we won't show it to you because we don't want this laptop to die. Hook you up to the internet.
Yeah, well.
But there's a scene that really sticks out to me. Like when he's in Man of Steel, he's being interrogated when where Superman's just like, you're scared because you can't control me. You never will. It's like, then who's our enemy, Zod? And he's just like, that's what I'm afraid of. Like sometimes it felt a little bit like I'm watching a guy pretending to be Superman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think it's something sad thing is like you gotta do it. You gotta like get rid of kind of the face. Like even Brandon Routh, who I always felt bad for, because I think his Superman movie is the worst. Superman Returns.
Yeah.
but I don't think he's a terrible Superman. But he was. It's like, well, you were the face of that movie, so
Right. That's what I think too.
that's
and
kind of like you're associated with it. So
Yeah.
even if you change directors and all that, you're still the
Yeah.
one that people think of.
I mean, no, that's sort of exactly. I think you're almost obligated in a way to ditch the bad reaction, the face of the bad reactions, and to keep the face of the good reactions, which is why. I mean, if they were planning, not that they were, but if they were for some reason planning to also reboot Wonder Woman, I would be like, that's crazy. You gotta like.
I think they were before the movie came
Yeah,
out.
that's yeah. I was saying, like, because of your whole theory of just everything being rebooted with Flashpoint, I hope that they exactly that they the negative reactions like to Superman, you can ditch that, and then the positive reactions like to Wonder Woman, that's how they keep this going. That's how they start going on a stride.
Yeah.
Then, is to actually make changes and not changes where needed.
So yeah, for Batman, 0.01% will be back.
Yeah.
Superman, I'll go as low as 40 because I don't think he'll be back. I wouldn't. I'd be surprised if he was back for another.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot returning as Wonder Woman, I think is 99.99% because maybe she'll get an offer somewhere and she's just like, I gotta do it.
I mean, she's
And she's contractually.
she's clearly going to be on for a while longer because Wonder Woman 2, what is it, 2019? Is it? Or is it?
Well, it could move because it's a week before Star Wars 9.
Oh, you're right. Because that's May 2019.
No, it's December now.
Oh.
They moved it when they announced JJ.
We talked. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that.
Yes. You were so.
I thought it was still the same date.
No, they
okay.
moved it.
Okay.
They kind of announced it the day after JJ.
I see.
So, but I think Wonder Woman will get moved up like a few weeks.
Closer, to back in November or something.
Yeah, I think it'll get probably moved to November of 2019. So,
It's cool.
I would say 100%, but
Yeah.
there could be a time where she's like, I want more money, and they're like, oh no. Oh, speaking of Gal Gadot's Wonder, did you ever see that video from Comic-Con? There's like this.
What is it?
There's like this girl in tears because she's so excited to meet Wonder Woman
I have not
at
seen
Comic-Con, where you meet the cast.
that. I have not seen that.
It's something.
I mean, do you want to watch it? I mean, I think that it can survive. If there was another thing before this too, I don't know if you want to.
I mean, if you want to see it, you can.
Well, it's just if you want. If I wasn't know if that's where you were leading.
If there's something where I think we should see a video, I'll think of it. So
I'll leave it open.
Okay, so quickly breeze through these things so we can wrap it up. Smallville's in the news. It's a little surprising.
Yeah,
We thought it was done. This show ended in 2011, but they did have a comic that continued it.
Yeah.
I own almost every issue, every graphic novel. A little sad though that the last one comes out in January next year, so that's the last time I'll buy something that's new of Smallville. But Tom Welling was in the news because he's going to be in the show Lucifer, and apparently he did a podcast like us.
Yeah, that's
We're
what we
just
do.
like you, Tom! With Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex in Smallville. Michael Rosenbaum has his own podcast. It's weird to think that they're friends when they should hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, so they did a podcast and he talked about how he had been offered to show up on shows like Arrow and Supergirl. But I don't think it's Superman. I think it's kind of like a separate character who's just it's a little wink. Hey, remember the fun times?
Cameo-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, they've done that with on Supergirl. They had Laura Vandervoort, who was Supergirl on Smallville, and Erica Durance, who was Lois on Smallville, will play Kara's mom on Supergirl, but from when she died on Krypton. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna be weird. How old was she? 6 when she had her? But so apparently he was offered that to show up on Supergirl, and he kind of turned it down because something about how he said, I think his exact words were, Well, it's not the show. Such different shows, Supergirl and Smallville. Like, that's not where his Superman took place. I think he was like kind of like trying. He wanted to protect Smallville and not. I think he was a little worried about ruining it.
Right.
He's been in like meetings with people, so he kind of knows. It's interesting, like how he knows kind of like behind the scenes stuff. Like he talks about how people ask him about like would he ever be in a Superman movie, and like well if they did that the show would have to end, and just a lot of different stuff. But I think it was yesterday in an interview, he said that he would be willing to go on The Flash.
Oh.
And he has some ideas of how to do it.
Oh.
Now, it's very interesting when you're just like, well, on Supergirl, he's just like, well, that's not really my Superman. Mike Clark is not her Superman.
Yeah.
But The Flash has the possibility. I mean, if it was just a cameo, it'd be weird how he's just like, well, I have some ideas. Because he also was a producer in the last few seasons, and he was also a director. I've noticed that a lot of times. Like, Superman actors will kind of like go behind the scenes.
Oh, really?
Like, the last 3 episodes of the George Reeves show were directed by George Reeves. Christopher Reeve came up with the story for Superman 4. Dean Cain, I think, was a writer on Lois and Clark, and Tom Welling was a producer and a director.
Yeah.
He directed one of my favorite episodes, too.
Mm.
But, no, wait, 2. He directed a lot.
On a roll.
Yes. The ones he directed were really good. But he talked about how he had this idea. I'm just like, well. He said the one he wants to do is The Flash. And The Flash has the power, if he runs real fast, to go between universes.
Yeah.
So, we still have a lot of the people who work on the CW shows, they start on Smallville.
Yeah.
So it's the same crew behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Is Tom Welling? We're just speculating. We're not trying to spin his words or whatever.
Speculation.
A little entertainment. A little guessing. Is Tom Welling suggesting having the Flash come to the Smallville universe for an episode?
Gasp.
Gasp.
Big gasp.
Ooh.
That's cool. That's rad.
Oh.
But are you would you hope that? Would that be cool to you? Or?
Yes. But here's the thing. I'd be a little... Part of me is just like, well, what if it ruins Smallville somehow? Like, what if the Flash accidentally, does something and Superman dies? But at the same time, the fact that Tom Welling seems so protective over it, and the fact that it's just like, well, these shows exist because of Smallville.
Yeah.
Smallville had Green Arrow for the last few seasons. And then once it ended, they did Arrow. And then that led to The Flash. And all the CW shows kind of follow the Smallville format. They don't copy it like how, it's one thing to be inspired, like how the CW shows are with Smallville. It's another thing to copy, like how Man of Steel did to Dark Knight. So it would be like it'd be a fun little thing of because The Flash is the most popular of the 4 shows.
Yeah.
So it'd be a cool little thing to have, just a moment where it's a lot kind of like the biggest hero from the current universe thanking Smallville for, hey, thank you for starting this.
It'd be a cool nod.
Yeah.
A little, an important nod.
I mean, really, it would be great to have Lois and Lex back, but if you do the Smallville universe, he's really the one that you need. And plus, Lois has already come back, so I'm sure it's just like, hey, instead of being on Supergirl this day, you want to be Lois again?
Yeah.
And it also has been a nice gap of time to where you think that people would be more willing to kind of do the roles again after being away for a while.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, I think.
That is interesting.
I don't think it will happen.
Yeah.
But boy, would it be cool. I think the only time you'll ever have... I think there's a good chance. Because to do something different, I think the best chance you'll have of a Smallville kind of return thing. Might be like an animated thing, but not just animated. An animated thing where Tom Welling Superman would meet Batman.
Whoa.
Because they weren't Batman was the one they always wanted to use and couldn't. I mean, it worked out fine because they used Green Arrow and now we have Arrow.
Yeah.
But if they do that, who would they get as Batman? Would they have a new Batman or would they just bring back someone else?
That's a good question.
Is something we can think about forever.
Forever.
Yes, so
as it never happened.
We'll breeze through these. Another update thing. Danny Elfman, who is scoring Justice League, he's bringing back the John Williams Superman theme.
I did see that one as well. I saw that news as well. That's pretty cool.
He's doing like a dark, twisted version of it. I think that's almost needed to show like, hey, even though it's a rebooted version, like this is still those characters. Like how, I mean, the best way is just like, as I said earlier, Tyler Hoechlin's Superman still feels like Smallville, which still feels like Christopher Reeve, which still feels like George Reeves.
Yeah.
So I'll say it. The fact that they're doing John Williams thing, you gotta think it is bumped up 100%. They're gonna bring back the Batman theme.
I hope so.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. That would be so incredible.
Oh my god! Even if it's just on the radio or something.
Yeah, they got.
What if like the Flash is like in a Batmobile with Batman and like his cell phone goes off and it's that theme?
That just a little nod.
And he's just like, "Oh, sorry." He's just like, "I'm so sick of that
song." Speaking of awesome themes, in Batman vs Superman and in Wonder Woman, the parts where the theme kicks in is just so awesome.
I remember because, you know, opinions can change.
Yeah.
I remember hating that theme the first time I heard it.
Like the new version, you mean? Or just... Yeah, it's sort of like guitar sounding.
I remember thinking, God, this sounds like Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
That was my... But as time has gone on, it's grown on me more to where I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if I just heard it on its own, I wouldn't think anything of it. But the way they do it is... like just at those climactic
you
moments.
Saw it in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I saw it in Batman vs Superman where there's explosions behind her, so it already looked like Power Rangers.
Yeah. No,
and they were fighting a giant monster.
No, when it's more like when she's doing a sick slow-mo, because it has to be slow-mo, air leap or kick or something. I don't remember the exact moments. But and the theme starts playing. It's just like, yeah! Yes! It's like just, yeah.
So, okay. I got a last story, and then maybe before this dies, I got a few little fun ideas.
Alright.
Okay, so, I have my list I made. Because I think this might be the last episode we do before Justice League.
Yeah.
Because we have unwanted answers to do.
Yeah.
So I think this will be the last. Because Justice League is... just to be safe.
Yeah,
just to be safe.
I mean, that's a biggie. I mean...
Okay.
We might even have to, for all we know, we could have a Justice League episode.
Oh my god, yes!
Like after seeing it or something.
Oh man, so excited for Justice League.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for this since I was like 9 to watch the show on Cartoon Network. I've been waiting so long.
Yeah,
we won't get Superman for the end, but maybe Joss Whedon will add more Superman.
Yeah,
because. They're still filming it right now.
Yeah, reshoots or something.
Yeah.
Though, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I have 8 reasons to be excited for Justice League.
8 reasons.
8 reasons. I tried to think of 10, but I did this morning, so...
Yeah.
Okay, it's the first movie under the leadership of Jeff Johns and John Berg. And as I've said multiple times, Jeff Johns, I think, is one of the top 5 greatest comic book writers of all time. Like, top 5 on my list. The fact that he... obviously, Stan Lee is number 1.
Yeah.
The fact that he can be, like, just up there in that top 5 says something. And he's also written some of the best episodes of Smallville and Arrow and The Flash. So... That's good. Besides comics, he can also write, like... He's also, like, written... It's even on the list of people's favorites episodes are the ones he's done.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that, so that makes me more hopeful.
You know what? Maybe before I'll just do like a Jeff Johns marathon of those episodes.
Yeah.
So, the script is being written by Chris Terrio. That's number 2 reason. Who's also writing episode 9, I think.
Oh, really?
I believe so. Yeah.
With is he co-writing with J.J. Abrams? Okay.
Now, some people are just like, what? You only care because you like Batman versus Superman. But, as I've said before, I don't have any evidence. This is just a thing I think, just from looking at the stuff.
Yeah.
I think he wrote the Batman scenes.
Yeah.
Because, remember, they were in the middle of shooting, I believe, when the script got rewritten, and they delayed it. So I think because of time, he only could rewrite the Batman scenes. And, yeah, they had already started, so they kind of... He couldn't, like, change the whole thing already.
Right.
But, I think that's a reason to be excited. And number 3, it looks to be inspired by the New 52's origin graphic novel. Which might mean nothing to you, probably. You're just like...
Not really.
Okay. But, it's a comic from 2011 that so many people say... What should they use for a Justice League movie? That's what they talk about. And they also did a Justice League War movie. It's not the best, but it's good. You know?
Yeah.
I've just noticed, you know, if it's not Bruce Timm working behind the scenes, it's harder for me to care.
Yeah.
But, okay, another thing. It's being directed by Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder is amazing with visuals, and Joss Whedon is great at, like, character team moments.
Yeah.
So, as someone who likes some of the movies they've done, we have the guys who did Batman vs. Superman and The Avengers.
Right.
Unfortunately, we also have the guys who did Man of Steel and Age of Ultron. But we'll just, like, be hopeful.
You know, I just found out within the last week that Zack Snyder did Watchmen.
You did not know this.
I didn't know that.
I still have yet to see Watchmen.
Because that's probably my favorite movie of his now that I figured that out. But, but yeah.
So,
anyway.
Another thing, I forgot to write this. More studio interference. Now, people are just like, what? What does that mean? But, this is why it's so good. You don't want the directors of these big franchises to be allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because then you get Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
Then you get Man of Steel, which David S. Goyer has been quoted saying that when Warner Bros. Wanted to interfere, Chris Nolan, who was a producer, said, no, let them do what they want. And, you know, we can see the results. So that's a reason. I remember the shows and the comics, and I mean the shows and the cartoons, their scripts get sent to DC to be approved. Unlike the movies, because these are smaller names.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say, in, like, The Flash or something, they want to do something, and DC doesn't agree with it, they'll say, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's our character.
Yeah.
You want to do it, go make your own character.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think it's so important. I remember, I think it's, like, every episode of Gotham, because it's Batman, it's got to, like... They gotta go through the lines. And I think they did that with Smallville too. It's just it's the movies is the one where they kind of let it slide more because it's famous directors.
Right.
But and as we know, you know, let's not lie, the TV shows are better than the movies for the past few years.
Yeah.
Even though I've really liked the movies like Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad, I still think like Flash and Arrow and Gotham are still better.
Yeah.
So, okay. We have a great cast. With Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, who did a great job in her solo movie and Batman vs. Superman. Ezra Miller, who... Did you see his cameo in Suicide Squad?
Wait. Who is that?
The Flash.
Oh, The Flash. Right, okay.
Did you see his cameo?
No, I didn't see that.
It's in the opening.
It is?
It's like where Captain Boomerang is stealing all this stuff, and the Flash comes by and says, no honor among thieves, eh?
Okay. See, okay, so the reason... Remember how I said I only saw the beginning? That's because I was, like, I was like going to sleep and I put it on and it's a haze. And the editing felt like a haze. Everything about it was just a haze.
So Batman obviously was my favorite, but The Flash was my second favorite part of the Suicide Squad. Notice it's not the Suicide Squad members, but
yeah.
I mean, I went there to see Batman. He's not in a lot, but quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Those Batman scenes are so good. Let's see, and for I think one last time, we have Ben Affleck as Batman. I've said I think one of the best Batman actors we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think he kind of, because they're still filming it right now, I think he kind of knows, he obviously knows if this is it or not.
Yeah.
And everyone else will know. So I think if this is his last time, they're going to try and make it special and just give him like some great moments. And I think he'll want this movie to go out with a bang for him. And characters, it looks like, will be different. Instead of Batman versus Superman, where Batman and Superman were so similar, this one you have different characters. So it makes it more fun with crossover. And number 7, obviously I have to say it, we're finally getting a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
We almost got one in 2009, but the darn writer's strike.
Yeah.
And finally, most important, for anyone still nervous, if it sucks, it gets wiped away by Flashpoint.
That's a little silver lining.
Yes.
To end it out.
So, gosh, what else was there? Okay.
Comedy stories, or is that what you're
Well, I've got 2 questions to ask you.
All right.
Because, you know what? We had so much fun with Would You Rather.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
Let's do it.
I can't believe I didn't think of doing these Would You Rathers when we did them last time about Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Would you rather?
All right.
Here we go.
Back into it.
Yes. Yeah. Once again, about Batman and Spider-Man.
All right.
Okay. Which one do you want first, Spider-Man or Batman?
Let's go Spider-Man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Would you rather have Spider-Man 4 or The Amazing Spider-Man 3?
This wasn't asked.
No, we got
Oh yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You can.
That's right.
It was you can either choose what could have happened or what did happen. This is you get to. Neither of these happened, so you get to bring them.
Okay.
You get to choose which one you want to return to.
I'm very conflicted. Part of me is like, I like the Sam Raimi ones more, and part of me is like, then it would be a trilogy.
Yeah.
And they could really bring it up for a trilogy. I think I'm interested in seeing The Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah. That's a tough question.
So, one more. Another one.
All right.
Would you rather have Batman Unchained, which, to recap, Batman, Robin, and it's a sequel. It's the 5th movie of the original series.
Okay.
Batman and Robin and Batgirl versus the Scarecrow and Harley Quinn. But Harley Quinn is Joker's daughter, and she blames Batman for the death of her father and wants revenge on him. Plus, you get the scene where Scarecrow fear gasses Batman, and he sees all the villains. So Joker and Two-Face and Riddler and Catwoman all come back for that scene.
Yeah.
Or would you want The Dark Knight 4? Now, here's the thing.
Okay.
You cannot do a Terminator or Superman Returns where you say Dark Knight Rises didn't happen. So
I was thinking like, I'd be really interested in seeing a Dark Knight 4 because I almost feel like part of Dark Knight Rises would have been done differently if they were planning on a 4th.
But no,
it's like exactly how it is.
The movie, the movie is how it is. You would have to have a sequel to what happened. That third one is canon.
Yeah.
So,
because that makes it harder for me, because because I actually I thought that there was potential in having Robin, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Robin as a character, but I just it felt like they kind of botched the origin of him in Dark Knight Rises. Like it just felt like weird. Like why is his name Robin? I don't know. But
well,
I still think that would be good.
I don't know if there's a fourth one. Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be Batman.
Why?
Because Bruce quits at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like a a-hole who says, "Sayonara, Gotham, you're on your own."
I guess I just figured that they would just forget that. But
that he would come.
It almost feels like The Dark Knight Rises doesn't set up a good next movie enough. Even though I wanted to see it.
If we wanted to talk about, we could always talk about, here's the story about how he came back.
That's true.
But you can't undo Dark Knight Rises.
That's kind of what's making me... And you said that one Scarecrow scene sounded very cool. But that... gosh. So it would... Would it be... Would that mean that it would be... George Clooney?
Yeah, George
Batman?
Clooney would be Batman again.
Because he's not my favorite Batman. Like, I even feel like I like... Gosh. See, these are all factors going into play. I think the story sounds better, but I think I think I'm logically thinking of this, and I'm like it's made me lean towards the Batman Unchained, is it called?
Yeah.
But I think if you were to actually give me this option and say magically make one of these appear, I would be more curious about the Dark Knight 4. I would be more curious to see that than the other.
That's not what I would choose.
Yeah, I didn't figure you would, but that's the thing is I was like logically thinking about it. I guess what I mean is I think that there's more potential in Batman Unchained being a better movie.
You're just like more curious.
Yeah, I'm more curious about it.
You're just like,
I don't know
what would happen? If they did do a fourth one, would they have brought Bruce Wayne back? And it's just like, Robin, can you give me those things? Oh yeah, by the way, my legal name's actually Richard Robin Grayson.
Yeah. So, I guess that's sort of... Okay, I guess I do have... okay. If it was, you can magically see what one of these would have been, I would choose to see the Dark Knight one. If the question was, which one of these do you want to exist in the world for everybody, I would choose Batman Unchained. Like, if I was bringing something upon the world that everyone had to experience, it would definitely be that.
Okay, but your answer is Dark Knight 4.
If it's just my own personal thing, like I get to see it.
No, everyone. This is
If it's
theaters.
everyone, then it's Batman Unchained.
Okay.
If it goes to theaters, it's Batman Unchained.
Okay, it would be in theaters.
I don't mean to sound like I'm changing my answer because you disagreed, but I actually do feel that it's just a personal.
It's like a different thing about which one are you curious about versus which one
I think would be a better outcome.
Okay, so I guess we'll have Batman for this last round.
Okay.
We don't want this thing to die.
Yeah, I mean, we got some time.
We have Batman Unchained, Dark Knight 4, and Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to be... You can choose which one can be a big blockbuster movie in theaters that you can go see. Which... Oh, no. Yes, yes. I was going to say... Never mind.
So I choose one
My
of them.
answer... yes, you choose which one can exist.
Okay. Of those three now?
Yes.
So now I've chosen... So it's between Dark Knight 4...
Batman Unchained...
And...
Amazing Spider-Man 3. I wish I could... Do you want me to tell...
Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Okay. Because I almost forgot. I was going to try and, say a little bit about Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3 of what I know, but it's only so little.
Yeah.
I know Vulture was going to be the villain in Spider-Man 4.
So the Sam Raimi...
Yeah. It would have been Vulture,
one.
and Anne Hathaway would have been Black Cat.
And instead she was Catwoman.
Yes.
So they figured they had to use her as some type of cat thing.
I think that's the only reason she was cast.
Yeah.
Because when she auditioned, she thought she was auditioning for Harley Quinn.
Oh.
Because, whatever. Everything on that set, whatever. But, okay. So we did. Your winner is Amazing
so.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, part of the reason was because I was so unsure with my choice of the other two that was the easy choice.
It's a little harder for me because I wish I could describe Spider-Man 4, Amazing Spider-Man 3 like I can on Batman Unchained, but I can't.
Yeah.
Because I haven't looked that much up about him. Okay, here we go. Few last questions.
All right.
Because what was that?
All right.
All right.
What next?
Could you imagine a Dark Knight 4? Like, Bruce, it hurts! I don't care if it hurts, do it! My name is Robin!
You cannot move on. You
Smoke
cannot be
the cigarette. Oh, it burns! Okay, so... Well, this other question is more of a thinker, so we'll save it for next time.
All right.
Let's see. Okay. You have the choice. You can have something that's frozen over.
All right.
You are allowed to have a DC and Marvel crossover between two characters.
My.
And we're not just talking Marvel Studios, we're talking about all of Marvel. All of
Okay.
DC. But you can only have two. One from each company crossover. What's it going to be?
I'm trying to think of two characters that would mesh well together.
I have
Like,
one.
Okay, so because like if I were to say like something like if I said my favorite DC superhero is Batman and my favorite Marvel superhero is Spider-Man, I don't think they'd necessarily mesh well together, so I don't think that's my answer.
Well, that is
personally.
my answer.
Is it?
Because I actually own a comic book where they meet.
Really?
It's funny because I was at I remember when I was younger, like, my dad, for his job, would, like, go to different grocery stores.
Yeah.
So there'd be one day where I would go and I would buy, because they would have the spinner racks. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
And we stopped off at, like, a Subway for lunch. And right by it was a comic shop.
Yeah.
And it has happened before where Marvel and DC will cross over in the comics. I think the first time was Superman and Spider-Man. And I own Batman and Spider-Man.
Wow.
So it's a little bit like, remember what you saw in Justice League trailers with Batman and Flash?
Yeah.
It's kind of what you would get.
See. Well, I actually just thought of something that kind of changes my opinion a bit because I just realized they both, like, work in a big city sort of thing. And I feel like...
Plus, one is dark and one is, like...
Yeah. Like...
more comedic, so it'd be more like a... Yeah. So it'd be more interesting.
Yeah, it's like part of the, like, a problem that I've heard with Batman versus Superman is they're both really dark and serious.
Yeah.
That would kind of... Not that
that's
they're
the
not
biggest...
cursing
Even though I like the movie, that's like the biggest missed opportunity.
That's what I've heard. I mean, it's hard to even think of, like... Now I've been convinced on that. It's hard to think of even... Do you have another, like, two that would be good? Because I was trying to think, like, all these other things, like, who would work well with Wonder Woman? Who would work well...
You know what? I don't want to just say this because it's, like, my two from the next... My second favorite DC, my second favorite Marvel. But
Okay.
I think they might work good together. Maybe Superman Wolverine. Because one is about, like, giving hope, and the other is, like, this guy who's kind of, like, lost all hope.
Right.
And they would clash about...
But then, that makes a lot of sense. Because you're going in from the angle of, like, they have almost opposite personalities, and therefore they complement each other. That's pretty good. Would that be better than Wonder Woman and Wolverine? I mean, Wonder Woman and Superman kind of have a little bit of a similar mantra, so I don't know if...
I think... You know, maybe if I were to do it, maybe... that might be too similar. Wonder Woman and Captain America, about how they're both kind of out of time.
That's one that I thought,
but it would still work.
Yeah.
Another, maybe like Wonder Woman and the Hulk, because they might feel a little bit like outcast, because one is like this freak in nature, and this other one, and Wonder Woman is like coming to this new world and doesn't really understand it.
Here's a question that I have that not to change topic too much, but I've wondered, of the like mainstay like popular superheroes,
Yes.
what is your least favorite, or just the one that doesn't do anything for you?
Mainstream.
Like just I'm not don't like not some obscure one that's
Okay,
stupid.
so I can't say Shazam.
Like, yeah, like some like one of the like popular ones that have had like movies about them, or like
the character. I'm just like, this is stupid.
no, it doesn't. You don't have to hate it, but just your least favorite. Because I mean, maybe you don't hate any of them, but I mean, between like maybe an X-Men character or Captain America or Batman, which obviously are not the answers, but
my kind of like the one where I'm like least interested in.
Yeah, where you're like just it doesn't necessarily do it. Like obviously, there's something that like Batman and Superman do for you. They're just like they're awesome heroes. They're awesome characters. What's one where you're just like, I don't know if I care? Is there one your least favorite?
Doctor Strange.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Because my whole life I've always not really cared for the Hulk. Like I just don't care. Like something.
Now, have
like,
you seen? What have you seen of the Hulk?
I've seen 2 Hulk movies, I think,
Okay.
and there's one that came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, the Ang Lee one where he fights the poodles.
I don't remember that, but
You lucky.
yeah. And then one of the old the like
Bill Bixby.
I think it was an older one than that though, but
Oh, another one that I don't get excited about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like like how I'm so pumped for the Flash and Arrow, or Captain America or Spider-Man.
yeah.
Thor.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. Like, I mean, I like superheroes to be as grounded as possible, which is why, like, Superman's just fine to me. I'm more towards Batman, Spider-Man because
I think if you want grounded Superman, television is where it's easier.
yeah. Oh, Smallville is great because, like I said, I've seen at least like a season.
Like
or two
even
of it.
like this is okay. I made a little confession. My first live action Superman was Smallville.
Yeah.
So then I watched the first Christopher Reeve movie when I was whenever it was, like when I was 12 or something. And for some reason, or 11, and for some reason it didn't really hit with me at that age. Like I love the movie now,
Yeah.
but it didn't hit with me. But the first Superman, besides Smallville, I really got into was the George Reeves show because it was him fighting gangsters and all that.
Yeah, I see.
It was mostly Clark Kent, reporter, and then he would quickly turn into Superman
Yeah.
when he was needed.
Yeah.
Still a great show. You know what? Smallville is obviously my favorite of the Superman shows, but it's like each day, it's like if you ask what's better, George Reeves or Lois and Clark, each day would be a different answer. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's like it just depends on my mood.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I said like Doctor Strange and Thor for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one for DC. Obviously Shazam, but mainstream. Of mainstream, I might say Green Lantern.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would probably lean Aquaman, but I think it could be done in a way that is good.
I actually think Aquaman is like a more interesting version of Thor.
I can see that actually. I don't know that much about Aquaman, or I know more. Like so I guess if that's true, and I think it could be, and I'm excited for the movie, just because I think there's potential there. But as of yet, there hasn't been much to excite me about Aquaman. But yeah,
All right, so
I was curious.
we
I was
are
a
at
little curious
8%.
about
I'm
that.
going to try to wrap this up real quick.
All right,
fast.
and we probably got a few minutes yet, so
Okay,
you don't
so-
have to rush too much.
I'll save some of these for another time. Okay.
Okay.
So I recently found an old VHS recording
Okay.
from like the year 2000. It's like Fox Kids and Doug, or from Nickelodeon or whatever, Doug and Rugrats. Is there like, have you ever found like a tape that you might record off TV years later, and we're just like, oh my god, this is a return to my youth.
You see,
Not like a VHS you would have like bought, like one you record yourself.
That's definitely a thing, because I'm pretty sure, because we talked about unsolved mysteries before on here. I'm pretty sure there was one time when I was like, I have a bunch of recorded episodes on a VHS. But in the last many years, I haven't even had a way to play VHS tapes, so I don't have a reason to go through them.
So, last question before a comedy story.
All right.
I'm going to give you $10.
I'd love that.
Yes. To buy something.
Okay.
And you can buy a recording, a VHS recording from one of the Saturday morning cartoon blocks or one of the cartoon channels.
Okay.
From, like, whatever time you want.
Just like a block where I can just almost experience it again?
Yeah, like, if you want, you can have Kids WB, Saturday morning, 1997. Or Cartoon Network, weekday in 2002. What are you going to buy?
You know what's funny?
What?
Nickelodeon weekday in 2002. No, I think... Wait. I'm trying to think of when, like, everything I was watching at that time would have been out already, and I'm thinking around then would be when. Because I would want to have... The reason why I choose Nickelodeon isn't necessarily because, like, it's going to be all the best shows, because I like shows across a lot of networks. So I'm not going to like everything, but I almost feel like the commercials and the block and the things they show in between, I think those would be more nostalgic for me on Nickelodeon than anything else. Like, it would feel almost like more dated on Nickelodeon than it, like, but I'd want some Invader Zim to be out by then. So I think 2001 that came out. I think so. I don't remember, but 2001 or 2002.
I remember when Kids WB was ending, because I remember when it moved to the CW, it kind of had like a resurgence because they got rid of Pokemon. Thank God. Because nothing against people who like Pokemon, but if you remember when Pokemon came on the network, Kids WB, it completely took over.
That's right.
So as a Animaniacs and Batman fan, it's been a long day, guys. I hated that little devil known as Pikachu. But
I've always been a big Pokemon fan, but at the show I was not part of what I went to it for.
But like
so
when like Kids WB has like come back where they brought like new cartoons of like Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo and a new Batman, which wasn't Batman the animated series, but whatever. And like a Superman show, I recorded them. And I remember when they announced it was going to end, I made sure to record them. And I still have those recordings, so I can watch those commercials.
That's beautiful.
Yes. 2 quick questions. If this takes too long, we'll just move on and we'll save them for next time.
All right.
Okay. Which Batman actor would you like to see put in a different Batman movie?
So, like, for example, you could...
For example...
I could take Michael... Put him in Batman Begins?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
I have 2. Would you like to know my 2?
I have a fun idea. Yep, I got it. Here's my answer. Ben Affleck in Batman.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's yours?
Yeah, that's mine. I mean, that's an easy choice, actually.
Here's mine. Michael Keaton in Batman Begins.
Okay.
I think it would have been cool to see like him become Batman.
Different sort of Batman.
Obviously, besides like actor, I mean like taking like the supporting cast too.
Okay, so
Michael.
I hadn't actually thought of that. So.
I mean, well, we'll just pretend it's like just the actor then.
Either way, I
Michael Keaton in Batman Begins, and also Ben Affleck in The Dark Knight.
That's a cool idea, because to me, like, the best thing about The Dark Knight is kind of the Joker arc. So to put a different thing in the role, it wouldn't really ruin it to me.
Like for me, we could have the best Joker of the 21st century with the best Batman of the 21st century.
Yeah, that was that could
could you imagine I mean, you've only seen a little bit of Affleck, but could you imagine that interrogation scene with Heath Ledger and Ben Affleck?
Yeah, yeah. I almost feel like Ben Affleck was better at doing that kind of thing because I saw the scene where he was like kind of bashing Superman.
Oh yeah,
giving Superman a new one. But
did you hear in Suicide Squad he had like one line as Batman, but wasn't as digitally altered?
Yeah, I was kind of like.
I'll be honest. I like it better not digitally altered.
Yeah, I was kind of like, why is it digitally altered? Like, I mean, I get it, but it does make it kind of weird. Like, that may be my one sort of drawback with it. I don't hate it, but...
On Arrow, it's digitally altered, but it's not as robotic. It's just a little deeper.
Yeah.
But, okay. Same thing for Spider-Man. We've had...
Different...
7. We'll count Civil War.
Okay.
So we've had Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland.
Okay.
Of these 7, because we'll count Civil War, which actor do you replace and what?
I actually have almost the exact same sort of answer because I feel like it's kind of weird in the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He's clearly not a high schooler.
No one is.
Clearly.
Yes.
But Tom Holland looks more like a high schooler. So that's kind of what if he was in...
He would age real fast in 2 years then.
Yeah.
But, that's cool. Yeah, he does look a little bit like a younger Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
That's why, it's like, sometimes people will post pictures of them together.
Yeah.
Mine. And this might completely change the movie. Well, obviously it would.
Yeah.
But I would say Tobey Maguire in Civil War.
Oh, so you're going outside of Spider-Man movies, or, like, Spider-Man movies. That's interesting.
Just because, remember, when they made Iron Man, and they talked about this Marvel Universe, Tobey Maguire was the Spider-Man we thought, like, if it ever happened.
Yeah.
And
then you wonder, what would it be if it happened?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's the one I would pick.
I'd be curious about that as well.
And plus, it would change it where he's older, so...
Yeah.
It would be different, like... I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool answer. Boy.
So here we go.
Where else are we going on this down this rabbit hole?
Well, let's see. I think we might have done all the questions I had. Let's see. Oh, what's a classic movie you'd like to see in theaters? Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first. I gotta think.
Batman 1989. I would love to see that in theaters.
Yeah, I've squandered a lot of opportunities of seeing a lot of things in theaters because of my late to the game. So what? Wait, so is it something that I haven't ever seen in theaters?
Something you haven't ever seen in theaters.
Okay.
And you had the chance. You now have the chance.
Interesting. And it's like coming to theaters today, because I have kind of a strange to go back in time. If I were to go back in time to
this is interesting. If we could go back in time, my answer is still the same.
I've heard stories about how people reacted to The Exorcist when it came out. That would be funny.
What happened?
Well, like, it was such a disgusting and scary movie at the time. Like, how long ago it was, and no one had ever seen something like that. That people would run out of the theaters, and I think some people would throw up. People were traumatized by it.
Yeah. So let's see.
But yeah, I don't. If I had to bring a movie, I would more even lean towards something like Toy Story. If it was just just some movie that I was that came out just a little bit. When did Toy Story come out? 1995. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think I saw that in theaters.
I know I saw it in theaters.
You did?
Yeah. What was your first movie? Mine was Pocahontas, apparently.
Apparently, I was brought to The Lion King, but I would have only been on one. I think that's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lion King was I think Thanksgiving 94.
Yes, so I would have been a little over one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true, but I thought that. I don't remember it, but
Can I just... We have a little bit of breaking news.
really,
Right? Really.
this is big.
This is... Okay. We'll just talk a little bit about it now. If we have to later, we'll... Okay. American Idol is coming back, obviously.
Oh yeah.
So, Luke Bryan and Lionel Richie are going to be judges on American Idol.
Oh, Luke Bryan and I don't know who that is. I know Lionel Richie.
So real quick, thoughts. So I'll just say real quick, I think ABC is doing this all wrong. All wrong. Because what canceled American Idol was versus something like The Voice is that the judges when American Idol started were interesting. Like Simon and Randy and Paula. Once they had uninteresting judges who were just singers who were just like, oh, try this pitch or whatever, and just like, oh, you make me wish I was bloody deaf.
It might become a little too niche for people who are into singing rather than a universal appeal type.
So
of thing.
I think it's going to get canceled after one
yeah,
season.
I don't know if we're in the climate for it right now, but I mean, Lionel Richie's cool and all, but I don't know if he's an interesting judge.
I think you have to have a little bit of person. Okay, this will be our final thing. Hopefully. Okay, final thing.
This is the fastest comment section episode ever!
Yes!
Except for the actual length, which is almost 2 hours.
If we have to, we could always go to there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was I gonna say now? I'm blanking. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvel's Inhumans premieres tonight on ABC. Bad reviews.
Wait, so would the original premiere, was that just screenings? Like
Well, here's
because
what-
I thought it already premiered.
Yeah, it did premiere. This is the television premiere.
Okay.
The first episode, I believe it's the first 2 episodes, and the first 2 episodes tonight were in IMAX, and you could go and see them. And so it was going to run for 2 weeks. Got canceled to 1 week because of it. Because
Yeah.
it was going. They wanted it in IMAX.
yeah.
So
I saw it in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX,
Ooh.
actually.
So I was planning on seeing Inhumans. So I'm just like, okay, more Marvel. But
Yes.
multiple factors happened. 3 factors happened. One, I had never heard of them. I had heard of them, but I just was not a fan of them.
Yeah.
Number 2, bad reviews.
Yeah.
Really bad reviews.
Like, just
people
awful.
just like, what have you done to these characters I don't care about? And number 3, I hate to keep bringing this up. I did not like the last Marvel movie I saw.
Yeah.
So those were 3 factors that make me say, I am skipping this.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a movie or something? Well, obviously this was a special event, but has there been a movie you were just, I'm going to see, but then got talked out of it?
I mean, I think the most that's happened to me is I'm definitely going to go see a movie, and then I just kind of don't feel like it. I'm just like, I was excited, but now I just think I'll wait. And that's every movie. That was Wonder Woman. That was Spider-Man Homecoming, which I still haven't seen. It was just every movie this year I was like, I'll wait, even though I'm probably going to like it. But, like I've said before in a previous episode, I don't often have that negative reactions if I... but so do you have like you said Marvel's Inhumans was your example of something you were
that was
talked out
something
of.
I was going to see.
Actually we talked about the Annabelle movie before actually, and I actually this just came to me. The reviews did stop me from seeing that because I still haven't seen the Annabelle Creation, but we talked about in one of the first episodes how Annabelle was coming out as a spin-off, and then it got kind of negative reviews. That is something I was fully planning on seeing in the theaters, and once the reviews came out, I was like, nah, like I don't want to waste my time, and I still haven't seen it.
Okay, so final story. I promise this time this is it.
Okay, yeah, we can go to that. Yeah.
There's a company that doesn't want it in Russia.
Oh.
Burger King does not want it in Russia.
Yeah.
So apparently, Burger King in Russia feels that Pennywise looks so much like Ronald McDonald that kids who want to see like a famous weirdo will go there instead.
Yeah, funny that you would almost think that you could make the opposite argument.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, we're gonna clean up. No one wants to see the clown anymore.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, it's almost, you could argue, bad advertising for McDonald's because
Like,
they're making everyone terrified of clowns.
You could almost have it where yeah, because they both have red hair too.
Actually, the new Pennywise has sort of orange hair.
That's close
But
enough.
yeah, but yeah.
What does Pennywise sound like? Does he kind of sound like this or something?
That's sort of Tim Curry's a bit, but he's he speaks kind of low, but it's a little goofy, like, would you, or it's like, want a balloon?
Want the balloon?
Like he's kind of speaking like, I can't do it because I'm not a good actor like
So,
Bill Skarsgård.
We'll do the Tim Curry. Just like
It's like-
you just imagine Burger King just wants to pirate, just want to
Yeah.
make some pirate commercials like hey kids,
Yeah.
want a Happy Meal?
Because
Want a toy?
Yeah,
there's like a commercial where some like kid gets a Happy Meal, and then like the kid opens the box and goes surprise, and then like
let's go with
Okay.
that. Let's keep going though.
and then the person, and then it's like there's like a commercial or something, another commercial where there's like a family goes to McDonald's and they're having such a good time, but then there's like some bad stuff going on, or maybe no, they're at home
Yeah.
and it's just like, man, what are we gonna have for dinner? And then just like the dad just suddenly disappears, and then the mom just disappears, and then did somebody say McDonald's? You remember that old jingle? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh my God.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
It
was
was
a jingle? No.
was like before that. I'm loving it.
Yeah, now it's I'm loving it.
Yeah. Penny, I'm loving it.
Billy boy. Yeah. The funny thing, like, it literally is based on like in the book. It literally is described as looking kind of like a combination of Bozo and Ronald McDonald. Like, it actually says that. So,
do you remember our local Bozo?
No.
Oh, I have a tape of our local Bozo.
Oh, just like, was it on like...
it was on WZZM.
Oh.
God, that is getting away where we live, but...
They'll zero in on... They'll zero in on it eventually.
I want to just... Because he does look a lot like Pennywise.
Yeah.
But I'll show you a clip of our Bozo, but, yeah, what do you think about how they want to ban...
Yeah, that's... That is, well, one, pretty dumb to ban a movie because someone's worried about competition, and pretty dumb to think that making clowns seem incredibly scary is going to make people want to go to a place. I guess maybe their logic is that all exposure of clowns is going to make people start thinking of McDonald's. I mean, maybe they think all press is good press or something. But
I guess. And then you could have it like, God, what else is there? There's like, I'm trying to think, what's like just like a Happy Meal toy or something, where it's just like, now at McDonald's, you can get a brand new boat. You'll float too. You'll float too. Come on, kids, want a Happy Meal.
Come on down to McDonald's.
Well, yeah, because he's like in the sewer thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's the famous scene is in both. But
So I just...
there's a McDonald's down here.
Da, 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 da.
We all have Happy Meals down here.
that-
when you're down here, you'll be a Happy Meal too. I'm glad I thought of that. That's a good eating children joke.
Oh, he's a cannibal?
He eats them. Yeah.
So, do you remember this at all? This is our local one. Maybe I'll play it. I don't know.
My God, he actually has similar hair.
Man, this is not someone in LA. This is local. I've looked at some of the comments. They're just like, "Oh my God, it's it!" He's fighting over
It's
this
actually
camera.
kind of amazing me how much the hair is like, because that look, it might have just been the coloring of the bad recording. Yeah, now it looks red, but in that last clip we watched, it actually looked orange and covered the same parts of his head. Granted, that was much more exaggerated of hair, but
Yeah, people. Burger King
Yeah.
doesn't want it.
yeah, it's always been a wonder to me why like anyone ever thought that clowns were not a little creepy, but I lived in a life where that book always existed, and the miniseries always existed. It came out before I was born too. So I've lived in a post-it world my whole life. So
Let's see. What else could we have? Famous. We had the Joker
yeah,
be a McDonald's spokesperson. Like Caesar. Get your Happy Meal. Let's see. What else? There's Jack. What would Jack say? Tell me something, my friend. You ever had a burger in the pale moonlight? You wanna know how I got these burns? I was so hungry. And the burger was so hot. And I couldn't help it. And then someone said, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
that was Heath. But
That was Heath. Jared Leto. Let's see. I heard people talk about how he sounds like Nixon, so. I am not a crook. Let's see. Oh, Harley! I wanted
a Happy Meal.
Oh, I didn't want a Happy Meal. I wanted a Mighty Kids meal.
Oh, I forgot about Mighty Kids meals.
Do they even exist anymore?
I have no idea. I haven't even been to McDonald's in a while.
Let's see. One last one, because we had to do, obviously, the most famous Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing. Let's see. Well, we can just reuse it, you know. The I'll get a Happy Meal and you'll float too. And then all the Batmans come swooping in.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of famous clowns, and they're mostly just all the Joker and Pennywise.
Yes. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
Man, you know how we have some horror movies, slasher movies, where it's like Freddy versus Jason or something?
Yeah.
Joker versus Pennywise.
That's I feel like
Oh, they're both owned by Warner Brothers too.
oh yeah.
So this is a possibility.
Yeah.
Because, they're going to do a Joker standalone movie.
Oh really?
They're going to do... Oh, breaking news. There's going to be a Joker movie, which is like his origin.
I see.
And now some people are just like, but I want to be part of the DCEU. And so it wouldn't be Jared Leto as Joker. It wouldn't be connected to Batman vs Superman or Suicide Squad. What would you think about standalone Joker? Just outside of it.
I would love that, but it's one of those things where it's like such an important casting decision. Like that is the whole thing.
Did you hear the rumor?
No.
The rumor casting. I don't think it will happen, but the rumor for Joker.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Huh. I mean,
Since Martin Scorsese would be producing, and apparently Todd Phillips is directing.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, like, the thing is, I feel like Heath Ledger was almost similar. Like, a lot of people, I think, couldn't see him as the Joker. He never played a role like that before.
Remember, Warner Brothers wanted Leonardo DiCaprio to be Riddler in Batman 3.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he is a great actor, so even if I've never personally seen him in a role anything similar to that, I wouldn't doubt that he could do it.
Oh, yeah. So what would you would you want something that's separate from the regular universe?
Yeah, I think so.
Here's my answer. Is Batman in it? Because if Batman's in it, I say go for it. If not, I don't care. But, I mean, if you're doing Joker's origin, Batman has to be there.
Yeah, he's motivated
because,
largely by Batman, so...
someone's got to push him in that vat of acid.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people are like, we're running out. We are running out. We got 4 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay. So, people are wondering, could the Joker has never had an origin in the comics, like not like a real one. So a lot of people are wondering, why would you give Joker an origin? But You know what I think could happen? I think what could happen is it'll be bookended by the Joker. If this movie happens.
Yeah.
I think it could be bookended by the Joker, where you see kind of what happened in his life.
Yeah.
What led to being the Joker. And at the end, it could be like him telling Batman, like, I had a bad... Like, just like the Killing Joke. I don't know if I mentioned that. But just like the Killing Joke, where he's just like, all it takes is one bad day. And sometimes I remember it differently. Like, it could... Like, at the end of it, you'll find out that could or could not be true.
Yeah.
That's what I think it could be.
That's a cool idea for sure.
So,
yeah, the Joker's a great character. I like to see different iterations of it.
So we are done now. Our voices are tired. So
we've burnt out everything.
Why not end it? End the episode in a montage.
Absolutely.
Let us do. We'll have it where we say keep falling down the rabbit hole, but in our best Joker voices.
Okay.
We'll go Caesar, Jack, Heath, Jared.
I can't say I'd be good at any single impression except for Heath Ledger because I know his little ticks.
But that's the thing, though, is that we just want to hear. So, have you ever seen Caesar Romero's Joker?
Which one is that?
It's Adam West.
I know it. It's like vaguely. I can't say.
All right.
Well,
so we'll try that. Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
I just wanted to do a little laugh. That's all I wanted out of that.
Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
You're doing Jack?
Yeah.
Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
Here we go. And now Heath.
Keep falling down that rabbit hole. So, what do you have to do? Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
So, Jared Leto, a.k.a. Nixon.
Keep falling down that rabbit hole. That one, I don't even remember. But okay. I can do an impression of you doing that. Okay. Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
All right, and finally, Mark Hamill. Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
Keep falling down that rabbit hole.
Exactly. We're tired. My voice. There you go.
That's it.